Somebody who looked great, though, just right from the jump, Adnan, was Bijan Robinson, their first round pick. I mean, I felt bad for almost the other players out here because we mentioned Bijan catches a slant, everybody goes nuts. There were like some legitimately really good like one-handed catches out here by like other receivers, and like 5 people in the crowd noticed, and they were like, "Yay!" Like, so how exciting is it to actually see Bijan in person in the Falcons uniform?
He's different. Like he's one of those like rare players where we haven't really like seen what the running backs can actually do. We haven't seen pads come on yet, and it's really difficult to evaluate because when pads aren't on, the second someone like puts a hand on you, it's like one hand touch football. It's immediately blown dead, and then it's one of those plays where someone's within the vicinity, but that they weren't going to like take down the running back, or there was going to be a broken tackle or whatever. But even despite these limitations, Bijan, just the way he moves, it just feels different. It feels like he feels like one of those rare players where you can bring in like a complete novice who has never watched the game of football, and he'll watch these guys on the field, and he will like point Bijan Robinson out as, yeah, that guy isn't the same as like the rest of those guys. And we saw some of it today where like his cuts are so fluid. It just looks so natural for him, and I can't wait for pads to come on, and I can't wait to see him, come preseason, come that joint practice against the Dolphins, come the regular season, where, when he gets into the open field, I don't think there's a single linebacker in the NFL that'll be able to do anything against him one-on-one. Not one.
I was talking with Michael Turner during practice today, and he was out there, so it was really good to see him, and asked him about the LaDainian Tomlinson comparisons, right? Because that's a pretty popular comp for Bijan Robinson, and who better to actually weigh in on that comparison than LaDainian's backfield teammate for a little bit there. And he said, yeah, man, like the comps are pretty spot on because of his ability to make these cuts and make these breaks and like maintain his speed. And so that's what we're seeing is when he makes a decision and he goes in the other direction, dudes just can't keep up. I mean, he's going so fast. And Kevin, you captured arguably what some are calling the cinematic achievement of this week. We had Barbenheimer last week. I think that your video of Bijan Robinson catching a touchdown pass over Troy Anderson has actually supplanted Barbie in that doubleheader. So it's Bijanheimer, I think is what they're calling it now on X. How do you feel about
Who threw that ball, though? Who threw the ball?
Who threw the pass?
It's a conspiracy.
How do you feel about what Bijan's done?
Oh, very well. Yeah, I mean, if you listen to the audio of that video, you'll definitely get my thoughts on Bijan Robinson. I was considering editing that out, but I think it needed to stay in. No, I mean, you can just tell, like, I mean, the second you saw him out there on the field, it was like, oh, yeah, that's Bijan. He didn't need to wear a jersey. You would know. And, like, you can't even see him break tackles or take any contact. But he's the type of player where it's like he would be like a shorts warrior. It's like, oh, yeah, well, of course these guys in one-on-ones and no pads, they're going to look great. They're going to be cut, and they're going to be, flying downfield, looking great. And then, but once the pads come on, they're not going to look as good. We've seen this with a lot of the smaller type receivers and stuff like that. But with Bijan, it's like, oh, yeah, but also he was, the best tackle breaker in college football.
Yeah.
So, like, not only does he have that change of direction, which is rare, just a rare level of that, he's also like over 215 pounds and breaks tackles. He's not really a power back. I mean, he's not your smash him up the middle type of tackle breaker, but he's just the way he moves. It is so special that even seasoned players, they misjudge where he's going to be. And that's why he breaks so many tackles. Not necessarily, and his contact balance is good and all that stuff, but it's hard to take the right angle. It's hard to keep up with him with your eyes because he just is so special with the way he moves. So he just defies logic with that stuff, and it's nightmares, right? I mean, it's as good as Tyler Algier was last year. Right? He's the type, he's more of the truck.
He's more of the north-south guy.
The truck stick.